What's up, everybody? Brett here, back today playing some more Tower Dominion. Super stoked. Today we're going to try a different faction. We're going to go as the Pargan Assault group, and I'm going to try to break my curse. I've been playing with Major Delcia and trying to get past the level 2 battle difficulty, and I just can't do it, man. You know what, we're going to shoot for the moon today and hope to land amongst the stars. We're going to go for a level 4 and see what we can do. Her whole gimmick is that she gets a bunch of recon production, and you can build like 1,000,000 scout hideouts with her, and it's awesome. And I always feel like I'm this close to winning, and then I lose. We'll see if my bad luck persists in today's video. I also wanted to say before we get going, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is coming out, I think, the day before Thanksgiving. I'm going to pre-record some videos before I head out. I'm going to Louisiana to visit family, taking my kids. We're going to have a good time. But as of right now, it's a little bit before Thanksgiving. And what else? Oh, I wanted to say thanks for all the support on the last video. I put out a little bit of a clickbaity title. No, it's more like real bait in my last Tower Dominion video. And it got way more views than I was expecting, which is awesome. It doesn't give me any money or anything. It's just, it literally gives me no money. But it does bring a lot of eyes to the channel, which is really cool. Last I checked, it was like over 600 views, which a video of mine hasn't had views like that since I used to do like Battle Brothers and stuff. As I sip my coffee here, some of those videos from back in the day, those got like 10,000 views. That's crazy. But anyway, without any further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and start today's mission. I'm glad y'all have been enjoying the game. This is a super fun game. Some games are like a bit of a slog for me to play just because there's parts of the game mechanics or, you know, the randomness, you know, will kill me 20 minutes in and I have to like restart and do another video. Whatever. This game has been like an absolute pleasure to play, and I'm happy to do it. I will say I'm not loving this four-way street we've got going on here, but I'll place it down there. So if you don't remember, we get the special command. It cannot defend itself, and it uses tech to upgrade. So the way I normally like to go is orbital relay, reconnaissance, satellite, and then centralized targeting. 100 supply production doubles our supply. The reconnaissance satellite, huge recon production, and then all buildings gain air damage. That's a bonus against air damage by 50%. Let me articulate that a little bit better. Or we could go for more discovery, which is cool. 20 discovery will make a lot more neutral positions show up. Repair drones is kind of cool. HQ gains a bunch of repair. Buildings gain HP. If you're going to try to get a lot of walls and fences, this is really good. And then all buildings deal bonus damage to shield. That's good too. You kind of, to me, you can't go wrong with either one of these. I think they're both excellent. So you want to get these right away. We're going to grab those, spend our tech. Okay. And this faction is really fun to play too because you just have so much production that you can really make whatever you want. It's just where are we going to place what we got right now. So we can place a scout hideout. I'm seeing some really good positions for our sturdy bunkers. Like that's a really good spot. That's a good spot. That's a good spot. Good spot for that. Could kind of surround with some mirror doors. Detection shouldn't be a problem because we're going to go mass scout hideouts and they all have detection. So we can kind of forego the first upgrade on the mirror doors and place them at ground level and get increased range and rate of fire. You'll see what I mean as I go to place them. The only thing I'm considering is this position right here is a nice little like grouping of high ground, and it makes for a really nice sturdy bunker like grouping position, but it's so early we're not going to really have the resources to do that, so I'm not really going to stress too much over it. I think instead what I'm going to do is make sure we have a sturdy bunker covering this pretty tough spot there. Let's get maybe we do the opposite of what I was just saying. This is important, guys. I'm kind of hemming and hawing a little bit here, but this is kind of important. This dictates a lot about the future of this run, how we build here. I kind of like that, and I kind of like this. I would like to close this off. We'll see what we can do there. And with the cash that we currently have, let's buff those two. Now let's place you right there. That gives us some decent coverage on 3 lanes. Let's go. Wish me luck, guys. We're going to get the reinforced pivot. I'm going to try to remember that not everyone knows everything that's going on as I play. And I'm going to try to make sure I mouse over stuff. Let's take the sturdy bunker and the warwolf. And then here, we're going to place down another scout instead of upgrading the large squad. And do we hold off? You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get the second heavy Vencedor here. That upgrade should cover us. Let's maybe prioritize getting a little bit more of the upgrades before we actually know how the layout is going to look. So the game is giving me a little bit of repair and some better doctrines. I like that. I honestly don't know how much 6% makes a difference here. I love a certified amplifier and a little bit of recon. That's good too. And this is great as well. Getting some early negotiation skills will lead to, I mean, over the course of a very long, let's say we managed to pull out another insane endless run. This could be thousands of supply, right? I'm going to go with that. And then here, yeah, this is what I wanted. I wanted a straight piece. Kind of a nice little central spot here for a warwolf. Let's take that. That'll cover the whole map for us. It's a very slow shooting tower. I tried to say that a little too fast. We can get some cost reduction for our scout towers. That would be great. We've got some options here. I'm going to go with the Mirador. And our first bastion. We've got a good bastion spot here, here, and here. What do we want to do? Grab a large squad there. Let's get heavy shells here. And then cybernetic loader. We'll leverage some of our early game tech to cover our butts. The air is squeaking through. Could maybe put a Mirador here. Yeah, for now we're just going to take towers, man. We'll close that corner off. That's exactly what we wanted to do. And then you know what? I will put... This would be a good spot for a Durandal, but this is just as fine of a spot for a Mirador. Nice upgrade. Upgrade there. And then we're going to get local supply. Because eventually, if we go long enough, we're going to discover a ton of these neutral positions. And that's going to buff the heck out of it. So, if you don't know local supply, what it does is it gives us 5% bonus damage per activated neutral position. Right now, we've got 1. Later on, we'll have 10. So, it'll be pretty decent damage spread across ultimately 4 weapons. And that'll be pretty legit. Let's upgrade our bros here. Just want to make sure I have some adequate air coverage. Anything else I want to do? Nope, we're good to go. So we sorted this out. This is pretty much exactly what I envisioned. Now we need to think about curving this around to here. It'd be nice if I could centralize everything to this location. This is nice. This is just some early game cash. We'll take this. Right now we've got 3 battlefronts, so that's an extra 60 supply. What we're going to do is we're going to send this straight piece here. It's a little early for me to start re-rolling, though I can. I can start trying to re-roll these pieces to try to get corner pieces to do what I'm talking about. But we're going to hold off on that. Get some compact charges there. Get some huge range. You have to imagine eventually there'll be something here, hopefully things that curve around here. These positions, especially once this one's upgraded, it'll cover here. These are very good spots. They maybe looked a little wonky in the beginning, but they're going to look good soon, trust me. What else? Not a bad spot for a bastion. Would actually like to put a platform or 2 here and jack that thing up. We got options. We got lots of options. So instead of... I like this as well. I'm a little spooked by some of the air that's coming at us. That could be very good. We've got options. But like I said earlier, let's think about perhaps just spending the cash on the upgrades that we know we're going to buy eventually. And it'll help us right now. Kind of observe, especially these two lanes here. I feel relatively safe out here. It's these that are kind of spooking me. There's that platform I asked for, but I think I'd rather have 2 more bastions in my back pocket. Let's go ahead and upgrade compact charges. I'm doing it for the slow. There's not a lot of towers in the game that can slow. There's a couple. A lot of those upgrades are very expensive. The Werewolf is one of them. It's a 2,000 supply upgrade. It's very good, but it's very expensive. This is almost free if you kind of think of recon as kind of like a bonus resource. And we've got, 4 weapons with huge range shooting, slow. So that's pretty good. Decisions. Starting to get more and more concerned about this spot. We'll throw something up right there. Give it a little bit extra rate of fire and reload speed. Yeah, this is what I'm worried about. The flyers sneaking through. And we've got decent coverage, but it's not enough. I was going to say, some more scout hideouts is exactly what we need. Generally, I prefer to take 2 towers over 1, but we're going to start accruing a lot of recon, and if we don't have the appropriate stuff to spend it on, we're going to wish we had. It'll just be sitting there like a free resource with no towers to build with it. So what we can do is, if we're planning to build the way I said we are, which we are, we're going to want stuff that's covers this general area, right? Could even put this right next to it. Wouldn't be bad. Could come over here. This won't be bad. Let's do that. Perhaps go for another Werewolf here. And send it, baby. I'm probably going to put down a sturdy bunker, maybe here-ish. Here-ish. The Werewolves do shoot air, they're just very slow. Okay, this is nice if you can plan around it. If you're just building a lot of towers and not doing any upgrades and saving cash for a turn, but it's kind of hard to predict when you're going to get this. I'm going to take this anyway, though. Love having 2 scout towers in our back pocket. Go ahead and close that. We'll build this here. Upgrade. Upgrade. I was about to say, do I have any other upgrades that I could take advantage of? Yeah. Nice. So we managed to get a little bit of a discount on some stuff. I'm worried about the dudes that divide. I had a feeling they would come from right here just because this is where all of our entrance points are. But if a few of them came through here and we didn't have appropriate protection, we could have been in a lot of trouble. So I want the Durandal. This is pretty useless. We probably won't create a pit. I've made them sometimes on accident. They're like the Overmind from StarCraft. Excuse me, damn. Don't try to talk and drink coffee at the same time. That's not a good idea. Could just take the cash money right here. My problem is, you know what? The reason I think I lose some of these campaigns is because I try to play always like I'm going late into endless mode. So I pass up on big cash supplies because I think I want to have as many blueprints as possible. That way when I get past wave 35, I'll have other things that I can build. And then I end up losing on like wave 32 or 35 because I just didn't have enough supply to build like 1 or 2 more towers to win. That happens. I mean, that happens to me all the time. And I'm constantly like hedging my bets, and trying to like skate through the first 35 waves to get to endless, because that's where kind of the most of the fun happens, because that's where you have all the cash and you can sort of play around and do what you want. If I was being really serious here, I might take this. We get the resources and a tower that I really want, and I think that's what I'm going to do. We get a bit of both worlds there. So we're going to extend this out. This is good. Another curve here would be good. I think we can close this off, or at least curve it this way and then connect it here. My current thinking. We want to take advantage of this. We don't really have anything right now that can take great advantage of this. So we're just sort of going to pass. I will use my last tech. You could probably call that a little bit of a misplay. There's other better things you can do with the tech, but I think for right now it is good. I just want to make it, man. Let's break my curse. I always get to like the last wave and then die. Yeah, we'll take the 400 supply in addition to the goodies. We'll also very happily get the compact charges, give us way more coverage. And what do we have here? Kind of looking at this position. Pretty strong. If I had the last tech, I would upgrade it again to cover this spot for the anti-air. But I think this is just fine. Or we could start dropping these, especially in these two locations. Let's drop that there. Let's be a little conservative, perhaps. I'm going to get simple design, and I'm going to get the roof snipers. Your bastions are one of your best sources of shield break. Also an excellent source of detection. But I think we're going to have other options for shield breaking. I'm not that stressed about it. Sanction Cannon is a very powerful but very expensive tower. Trying to look at where we would put it. Somewhere, I mean, here-ish. Something like that. It's such a far away thing that I'm very tempted just to take this. And I think I will. Something like that. We'll make a nice little flat piece in case we get the, I forget what it's called. It's the one with the helicopter that drops off dudes. It needs this type of space. And it's a nice central location for it. If and when we get those. And you'll get those. You'll see them all the time. This is a good spot. When its range is upgraded, it'll cover us here and it'll cover us here. That's how you got to think when you play this. Same with this position here. When I upgrade its range one more time, you'll see now it covers there nicely. Gives us a little bit of coverage here and here, if that becomes relevant. And then if we have to, we'll upgrade it again, give it even more range, more coverage. What else? What else? I think that's it. Don't love to see that. I'm glad we have what we have here. It might be time to just start grabbing these solid foundations. Make sure we don't just get wrecked by the speedy boys. I've been very concerned about the flyers. But that's when you get blindsided, man. This base doesn't have any HP. Yeah, joint operations. That's what I was looking for. Doesn't have any HP. So normally what I would do is I would put some barriers here. But we don't have any barriers. So what I can do instead, I can hook these nerds up with a light mortar. Should help a little bit. Just with the available funds. I didn't have enough to get the solid foundation, but we might just want to save and get that. Also, yeah, we actually needed to get this first. Let's get the Bastion and the Claymore. Claymore is another source of really good shield breaking. We made a nice central island here. Love it. But our entrances are getting very complicated. But we do want to close this. It's going to take a set of very specific pieces. And this, with one platform, becomes an insane high ground position. We're not going to build anything there in the off chance that we can put something very powerful in that spot. Keeping an eye up here. Because I've been talking about upgrading this, and I will if I have to, but I won't if I don't have to, right? This would be a good one to upgrade, get some ammo storage. Increase its attack speed. Do we have a good spot for an Omega emitter? Not really. It needs a long, unbroken corridor, which we have only right here. And I don't know what that's going to look like in time. Right now, though, I've got some excellent spots for more Warwolves and Bastions and sturdy bunkers. So we're going to take one of those, and I chose one. You see, I mean, look at all these scout towers. And I feel like we're killing it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fully upgraded scout towers. Lots of slow, lots of detection, lots of range. And I'm still scared. So make of that what you will. I still feel like I'm not covered. And this layout has turned so sort of chaotic that I'm having a hard time seeing. I haven't closed anything off. I've actually opened a lot of stuff up. If I can close this off and then redirect up here and just have everything up here and use this as an enormous like central location that I can shoot nerds from, that'll be great. But that's kind of not what we have right now. And I'm going to choose to hodl our cash money. Let's really be observant here and see where they're funneling. Lots of dudes funneling through here. Spooky. We could lose right now. So we got to get solid foundation. That'll buy us a little bit of time. Love to see a zone command. Love to see an early special budgets giving us extra reinforcement options. I'm going to take that, though. Our problem currently isn't our options. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Another 300. What do we put there? Could just drop down this. Yeah, I think we do that. Let's get the 300 extra supply there. And this will be fine when we upgrade it. I think these count as buildings, so special comlink doesn't work, unfortunately. Real question is, where do we put the zone command? One of my favorite buildings. It does a ton of damage, but it's also kind of does a sneaky amount of damage. But also, if you have a lot of tech and a lot of saved up supply and recon, you can use it to become a very, very efficient resource producer. Maybe we don't have a great spot for it yet, but we will. See, this is what I was talking about. These spots here are so perfect. I'm going to choose to place this here. Expecting to get some of the arc cannons and other stuff that really likes centralized positions. We're going to take that. We can upgrade it with aerial reconnaissance to give it extra recon production. We can upgrade its helicopter to do some damage. Now it'll shoot for us with little rocket launchers. And then we can give them some weapon specialists. It's very cheap. We can go the expensive route. Man, look at these options. I was going to say we could go the expensive route, but for right now, I think I'm feeling a little bit unsafe. So we're just going to spend on some of the cheaper upgrades that are still good, but they are cheaper. So along that same line of thought, we're not going to have the cash to build the Rampart missile silo for a while. Retribution position is awesome. This is the exact type of tower I would put on that elevated 4 square that we don't quite have yet because we don't have any platforms. Would also love to get a barricade. And then accelerated construction, I think, works really well with certain generals. There are certain generals that have unique traits that revolve around building costs and upgrade costs. For this character, lowering the building cost is nice if you just have a ton of blueprints that you want to spit out. But the problem is the real cost in this game is upgrade costs. So your most expensive towers, the upgrades, some of them are like $6 grand. Or that's for like the Rampart Missile Silos final upgrade. Or like 4,500, or there's several like that. The Durandal, I mean, even the Retribution position has like a 3,000 supply upgrade. So 5% of that is a lot. But we're talking, once again, well past endless. We're talking like waves like 45 and 50 and stuff where this really starts to hurt. For now, this is just good. And I want a medium mortar position. A medium mortar position, they have to be placed on ground zero. So like here. And they're even better if you have tech for them, which we don't. But we could place them anywhere here. And they would cover all of this. So I'm quite tempted to get that because not only is it good, but we can afford it. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to me, it's between these two. And I'm only tempted mostly here because I really want the barricade. But I'm going to take this. I've never had accelerated construction on a character that couldn't really use it. I think what we're going to do is this. This positioning is really crucial. I don't want to block this to me is like a really good spot for an arc cannon. I don't want to block that. So if we place this down here, we can cancel it. We can give it 2 max range. So if you look out, cover a little bit more here. There's going to be blocks here in the future, right? For sure. Or we go 2 minimum range, and that gives us a bit more coverage here. Here, right? Either or is good, but this is 50% damage, and I think this is what we want. Eventually, it will be surrounded by buildings, so it's going to get 10% additional damage and rate of fire per adjacent building, which for right now is just 1. And then we're going to get the Deltaware upgrade, which is more targets, more damage, more reload speed, more explosion. So I think this is a good spot. I think I'm actually going to keep it here. Got to keep our eyes open, though. So right now, this doesn't look amazing, the increased range. But it will in the future. When it starts hitting things in other spots. A Durandal and a platform. This would also be really good. Scout hideout efficiency. Ugh. This is good now. This is good kind of long term. We're going to take that. And I also think we reroll. See, this is how you make a pit. I don't want to reroll too much. But I will. I'll take that. I will take that. We'll get that. We'll get this. And then we'll upgrade that. We just want the Deltaware upgrade. For shooting way more targets, and now we really need to get that solid foundation. Oh no. Yeah, they're coming at me. Huh. Building doctrines are more likely to appear. Gain 1 doctrine among 2. Okay. This is a big... You know what? I'm going to take that. Let's get some bonus damage on our scout hideouts. Let's get solid foundation. Not forget to grab that. And I'm going to put this here. And here's a really good spot too. Especially if you upgrade it. We need to get the range upgrade first. Let's see if we can not die here. That would be huge. And we're going to go straight down this tree here, giving range and additional weaponry. Hoping we don't die. And we died. Damn. Maybe I just suck, guys. You know what? We've been going for 30 minutes. I'm gonna call it here. Hopefully that's not too disappointing for you guys, but we're gonna call it. I'm gonna probably record 1 or 2 more of these to upload over the holidays. I'll be, like I said, I'll be in Louisiana for I think 4 or 5 days. But I hope you guys still enjoyed the video. Maybe you can let me know in the comment sections what I'm doing wrong, or what do you think I'm doing wrong that's getting me crushed here. I died to some fat flyers. We just need a few more turns to kind of like flush out our design. But that's kind of the gamble you take in this game, is if you play for the super long game, you might get wrecked in the short game, which I think is what's happening to me the most. But that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Brett, channel's Good Talk Gaming, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.